Okay, hello and welcome back to my channel. I don't have an opening yet, so bear with me. The very first card at the top says, your heart is not bulletproof. Protection won't override character. The second card, which is the first card from the first row, says, the secret admirer is in love and looking out for you. The second card says, in an alternate universe, they are alive and waiting for you to figure it out. The third card says, time to resurrect and redirect. Time to collect your good fortune. The fourth card is, get some rest for now. It's been a long time coming. Safe travels are forever ahead. And the fifth card on the first row is, every time you walk into a room, all they see is divine light. Okay, so I'm going to reveal all the cards on the second row, and then I'm going to get into your reading. Okay, so the first card in the second row says, there is a presence on the land that needs permission to leave. Let it go and you'll see a change in revenue. The second card on the second row says, you are the light in the dark. Yeah, babe, it's a yes. Third card is, I stare at your pictures all day. The best part of my life is you. The fourth card is, if only you knew the level to which this person admires you, you have no idea. And the last card with the owl is, how do you wake up the sun? History has the answer. Eternal love. Okay. So when I was meditating on the cards, because they're pre-shuffled, I thought about the first card that came out, which is Anubis, right? And scale, balancing something out. So you're someone who has made a lot of decisions for, I want to say, the greater good of humanity. And somebody admires this quality about you, and you have a lot of secret admirers, right? So the fact that we started off with this secret admirer is in love and looking out for you, and there's a presence on the land that needs permission to leave. Let it go and you'll see a change in revenue. There's something about a specific time lapse for you where there's like a matter of shifting. Like you have to shift something back into perspective, or you have to shift something, let it go, and allow it to resurrect itself. I feel like since we're dealing with admirers and staring at your pictures, this is definitely in regards to love. It's like having to let something die in order for it to be reborn again, or having to use the scales to balance out whatever is happening in your love life in order to make it better than it was before. I want to focus on, I stare at your pictures all day. The best part of my life is you. Just reach for my cards. Okay, so if this is a partnership, this partnership is linked to good fortune, good karma, and something, it's like starting over. Something is being handed to you and it's brand new, right? So the card that came out was talk about the 38-year-old man and Jesus telling him to walk. So pretty much it's a story where the man is laying on his mat and he's looking at the pool in front of him, and he wants to get into the pool. And the gist of the story is pretty much saying he wants to get in a pool that's not meant for him, right? So the best thing to do is not to like that Jesus sees is not to let this man go in the pool. The best thing for him to do is to take up his stuff and walk, right? Because he felt like the most insignificant person, um, or appeared to be the most insignificant person in that space. And there's something about sad eyes, like somebody looks at you, and what draws them to you is your level of sadness because of the decisions that you've had to make, right? And they're not drawn to your sadness to keep you there as they are to allow you to understand that even the levels of sadness that you've been through, even everything that you've been through, you still have the power to get up and, you know, just be better than what you are telling yourself or what you're thinking you should be just in life. And I hope that makes sense. But the pool, what is this pool a representation of to you? Maybe it's a pool of like, you need to be in this pool, or you need to be in this level of water in order to reach your level of success, or in order to obtain the money that you desire. But what's happening here is, what if, someone told you that the pool that you're desiring to be in is not meant for you to go in, because you're meant to have your own individual pool, right? And it's pretty much comes down to the power of the mind. Do you have the mindset of you have to be in the pool where everybody steps or walks all over you? Or can you shift it to traveling to your own space, your own place, where it's just you in your own lane, right? Your level of success, what it means to you versus the idea or definition of success to somebody else, because they created that pool and not you. So let me just clarify. Element of soul required, that came out. Let me just clarify this card. Talk about the 38-year-old man and Jesus telling him to walk. Everyone is rich until you put that paper underwater and those deeds in some fire. Element of soul required at the bottom of the deck, okay? Sometimes we have to realize that when we embody certain energies, we have more power than we know, right? Jesus took what was considered to be to the people around this person that were stepping all over him and around him to get into the pool and stopping him from getting to the pool. The people saw him as the most insignificant man, right? Somebody they could just take advantage of, run over. And to me, I feel like Jesus was proving a point in a sense of like, I'll take somebody who appears to be the most insignificant and I'll give him the ability to understand that he's so much more than being pushed over, run over by people, or taken advantage of, right? And I think this is something you need to know, is that it doesn't matter who sees you as insignificant or sees you as less than. You have the ability to get up and create your own level of, or definition of, a pool, or definition of what you would consider to be better living, right? Because the man had been disabled for so long because of how people treated him, that he forgot that he had the strength to get up, and he forgot he had, the blessings and the ability of just moving his legs and just moving away, like moving out of this idea that, you have to be stepped on or walked all over in order to get into a specific pool, right? The pool was not meant for him, which is why he never got the chance or the opportunity to be in the pool. He was by the pool, but when certain things or certain opportunities are not meant for you to have, it's actually a blessing in disguise, right? So I see this as a blessing in disguise. The fact that you couldn't get into that pool and be in that pool is protection in some way, shape, or form. So I stare at your pictures. Good fortune. The best part of my life is you. You're balancing something out in your mind, right? There's somebody that admires you, but you also admire them in secret, like in the dark, right? You admire the dark parts of whoever this person is. And it's just like, how do you have the strength or the ability to move forward, or how do you not suffer from the pain? And I felt with this pile like spiritual pain coming in a physical form. So there is definitely something to do, because I've picked up on this energy before. There's something to do with the legs of a man, or a man's feet, or a man's foot. And having to come to the realization that you are the person who can get you out of the situation. You are the person that can get up and walk. It's just that you've been through so much in life that it feels like it's hard to walk. Every time you walk into the room, all they see is divine light. And how do you wake up the sun? The clarification of this is you have passed. Gods are asking what you would like as a reward, right? So when I think about the 38-year-old man, and I think about Jesus coming up to him because of what he's been through, I think to myself, like, he could have went, Jesus, the Messiah, he could have went up to anybody. He could have went up to anybody that was already in the pool. He could have went up to the person that stepped all over the guy and said, take up your stuff and walk. But he went to the person who felt like he had nothing to offer. So I want to say, in regards to having to balance the scales, or balance money, or balance funds, something like that, and then having to do it at high risk. It's like you've passed this test of time, and it's the test of history, and it's just like, now, as fate would have it, you're being rewarded, right, for your level of integrity. Because you could have turned into somebody who said, you know what, rather than, if I'm going to get walked all over, I'm going to walk all over somebody else. But you didn't, right? So there's something about when you realized it was safer to take a route of, it's like a route of integrity. It's like being rewarded for that, right? Like you could have made any other decision. You could have been that's like being the villain. You could have been the villain, right? But it's like every chance, every opportunity you had to be the villain, you just kept wanting to be the hero, or you kept wanting to be somebody that was neutral, balancing things out. And every time you were neutral, or every time you were trying to balance things out, it was becoming more debilitating for you, like physically, right? But I feel like you've passed the test that you were given. And I feel like this is linked back to like an ancient time. Because the fact that Anubis is coming out, it's like there is something that you had to do. Maybe you didn't do in past lives, but in this lifetime you actually did, or you actually went through the suffering or the hardship, or redirected something, and now you can bring in your reward, because it's like this is what you had to do that you couldn't do, or you didn't have time to finish in previous lifetimes. Okay, let me close out the reading. This is a Nefertari and Ramesses the second kind of love. Two more. King Jin dismantled, Queen Jin handled, returned to realms. Oh, and one more. It was either you or them, war zone. I'm glad you chose you. So you did something in the name of love, okay? Let's say you had the opportunity to fight for the love of your life, or let it go, or just let it die, right? And the more you kept fighting, the harder it became to like stand up for yourself and for this person. But the minute you said, you know what, I have to let go of this situation, and I have to just have, this was a level of faith. So your level of faith and love was tested. But it's like the minute you said, you know what, I'm going to release this, and I'm going to have faith that everything's going to work out. And maybe that was the biggest thing. Like you had faith, where maybe you didn't believe in God before, or maybe you didn't believe in like justice or balancing out scales, and now you do. And it's just like, okay, it was a complete war zone. It's just like you had to choose either yourself, you had to choose to love yourself and let go, knowing that things would work out, or you had to choose continuing to fight against these like superior forces. And it's like you no longer chose to fight against superior forces, right? And in not fighting them, they get dismantled for the love that you had, because you love somebody enough to let them go. Clarify this, King Jin and Queen Jin. So this could have been like you could have been going up against a couple. Thou has to do with thy youth, your beauty will not ever fade, only enhance. Yeah. This gives me like going up against a super powerful dark couple, right? It's like they are the king and queens of dark forces, and you had to go up against them with what you knew, what you already had in your possession, and the spiritual gifts and abilities that you were given. And the last part of the battle was having faith, right? Having faith that ultimately these forces will be dismantled if you didn't succumb to this idea of continuing to being walked all over, stepped all over, in order to get into a pool of people, or a pool with people that really did not care. And I keep seeing idea. So there's something about ideas. Okay, well that dropped on the floor. Person has a lot of options. And it's like, if this is in regards to love, right? Maybe you knew somebody had a lot of options coming towards them, and it's just like you were amongst the people that wanted to be chosen. And the minute you said, you know what, I really love this person, I really care about this person, but I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm constantly competing for their love. I know who I am to them, and eventually they'll know who they are to me, and I'm just going to release it, and I'm going to let it go. Even if this is for yourself, right? A lot of people competing with you for you, right? Whatever this case is, the minute you decided to let it go and say, you know what, it's like I'll come back into union with this person, or I'll come back into union with myself, and it will be better than ever. And it's like an ego death that took place. You dismantled so many people and places and energies that were on you more than you know, right? So now God is asking you, or the gods, I feel like somebody is heavily into like Greek, Egyptian, and Roman mythologies here. So now the gods are asking you, now that you've passed, what is it that you would want? Do you want time? Do you want good fortune? They're willing to give you the whole universe. They're willing to give you multiple universes if you want. So whatever it is, I want to say congratulations. I want to say good job. And please walk, right? Because you're no longer in the position to be disabled, or you're no longer someone who does not have that strength or the ability to just move forward. Just walk is what I keep like hearing in my mind. Just walk. Okay, that's your reading. Okay, hi Paltu. Let's get started on your reading. So the very first card at the top, you have you are your only prison. Gently open the door and set yourself free. And this top card is a representation of like a decision-making card. Mona Lisa is significant, or maybe you're somebody who is an aesthete of the fine arts. Okay. The first card in the first row says, time to back their attitude into a corner until they calm down. Second card is, you made the right decision for yourself as well as others that were involved. The third card is, smoke on it. You decide this person's fatal karma. So because these cards are pre-shuffled, right? So when I was looking at this card and it said smoke on it, I was like, what is this person smoking? A cigar? And then I said Mayan cigars. So Mayan cigars can be significant. Fate over illusions and visions over fear. A boy who dreamt and saved the school and the bomber. And the last card is make love to me tonight and you will cease many future wars. Okay. And there's something like thinking about the Mayan cigar. There's something about matching, when it comes to, I don't know who I'm talking to. And I'm really not about that life, but the certain pieces of information I know. So I know when it comes to cigars, you have to match the body of scotch with the cigar. I keep saying cigar. I want to say cigar. So you have to match the body of something. So it's like complementing something, complementing the body of something with the body of another. So I feel like you're going to get that more than what I'm actually saying. Do you know how loved and adored you are? That's the first card for the second row. Second one is, the tempering of this divine union has angered the gods, and as fate would have it, wrath. Okay. Third card is, always remember you are someone's dream partner in life. And the fourth card is, in a world full of birds, be the eagle, stay sharp and listen. And the last card is, God has expanded their lifespan so they can stay and love you a little longer. So you are your only prison. Gently open the door and set yourself free. Okay. So This pile, when I meditated on it, I thought about Rise of the Guardians, right? And I specifically thought about Sandman. And there's a moment in that movie of Rise of the Guardians where Sandman is fighting with Pitch, right? And it's an accumulation. So what Pitch does is he throws pretty much all of the dark dreams that Sandman collected from all over the world, and he used it against him, right? He used those strong forces against him. Now, in the midst, and he shot him in the back, right? So, he distracted him and shot him in the back, and in the midst of that, right? For a split second, you see that Sandman is absolutely fearful. And then Pitch says, succumb to the fear, right? Give in to the fear. So maybe you have a fear of everything you've taken away or everything that you've prevented being unleashed. But it's not just being unleashed, it's being unleashed on you. So this is a battle. I feel like this is like a spiritual battle of energies. And so Sandman succumbs to his fear of being in complete darkness, even though he is the light, right? And in that moment, he's covered in complete darkness and you can't see him anymore. Jack gets so upset and he's trying to save Sandman, and he releases a power he had no idea he had. So afterwards in the clip, the Tooth Fairy asks Jack, how did you do that? And then he said, I didn't know that I could, right? So I can see it like this, like you are succumbing, like even though you know that you are a force of light, right? And maybe you are a guardian to something or someone or some realm. But you know, the only way to allow another person to understand their gifts and their abilities is you have to succumb to your own fears. You have to succumb to the fear of something being unleashed, like the depths of darkness being unleashed from within you and swallowing you up whole, right? I don't know why I had to say it like that, because that sounds very like scary, but it's like doing that, succumbing to your fear is the only way somebody else gets to see their own power. Okay, so let me get into your reading. And there's something in regards to sand. Like when you think about the element of sand, right? If you put a bunch of sand, like a clump of sand in your hand and you hold on to it tightly, what happens? It's going to go loose through your fingers. If you hold on to it lightly, it's still going to fall. So I see it as there's an element of you or a part of you, and maybe you have gifts and abilities. Some part of you is going to lose something in the process, but it's only to enhance not just your gifts, but the gifts and the abilities of others. Okay, so back their attitude into a corner until they calm down. And do you know how loved and adored you are? Let me clarify these two cards. You needed the darkness. I cannot make... Okay, so the card that came out was one of my Horus cards. And it says, you needed the darkness to appreciate the sun. Shine, baby, shine. Right? So, it's the circumstances, right? And to me, if it's like in that movie, if that was all of Sandman's fears, right? What's linked to those fears is some form of regret. So I feel like there's something, you're like, I regret something. But whatever it is you're regretting, it it's allowing this fear to come to an all-time high, but it has to. It's like your worst fear or your worst nightmare is coming to pass, but it has to come to pass in order to for you to understand just how advanced your abilities are, and in order for others to understand how advanced their abilities are. So shine. You needed the darkness to appreciate the sun. You needed the darkness to appreciate the sun. Hold on, there was a card. It was about to fall, but it didn't. Okay, so even the most dangerous tiger has a soft spot for his tigress. Okay. So if this is in regards to a relationship, you're going up against somebody for someone you love, or someone who you love and adore. Okay. And when I think about this card, I created this card because I was watching something on National Geographic and it talked about this tigress, right? She had already had kids with another tiger before, and she had two sons. I believe it was two sons and one girl. But in order to protect her sons, she had to distance herself. And this is all perception, because that doesn't have to be the case, right? But from the story that was told in the National Geographic's documentary on the tiger or the tigress, she had to distance herself, or she had to force her sons to go out and find their own, right? And the same thing with the daughter. In order for her to protect her sons from the person that she was actually going to mate with. And the reason why she was mating, it was very calculated, because she was mating with this tiger in order to ease him into the idea of her already having kids. So by the time, let's say, he wanted to strike or claim territory as his own, he would be so in love with her that he would just not strike the sons or harm the daughter in any way, shape, or form. Now, this could be the case, but there is a certain dialogue that goes missing between the animal kingdom and human beings, right? And so I think about it from that space of, it's a narration. It's a beautiful narration, but that may not be the case, right? So it's either someone is protecting you or you are protecting someone. And it's for the greater good of the lineage, or it's the greater good of your family. So this way, when you bring your family back together, it's not like a territorial thing, as it is more of an acceptance. Okay, the tampering of this divine union has angered the gods, and as fate would have it, wrath. Okay, so you made the right decision. So in hindsight, right, if that story is true with the tigress, she made the right decision to shun her sons off of her and just completely distance herself from her sons, or force her sons to go out into the wild and fend for themselves, because she knew if she didn't do that, they wouldn't be prepared for the wild, much less another tiger coming up and challenging them. So, but this is in regards to love. No one should dismiss your pain. Don't let them, right? That's the card that came up to clarify the tampering of this divine union. It was probably hard for you to release something or someone, right? Or release, if you have kids, release your kids into the wild, I'm releasing you. You gotta be on your own. And the wild could be just the world in general, because you know, this. But anyway, I digress. So, and maybe when you made this decision, your kids didn't understand. Why are you pushing me away? Why are you acting like, or your partner, your kids or your partner didn't understand. Why are you pushing me away? Why are you acting like you hate me so much, right? But they didn't understand the level of pain that you went through in order to put them in that position where it's just like, I know if I throw you out into the world, you're gonna find yourself. And I know if I throw you out in, or if I just dismiss your feelings, you're gonna find your own inner strength. Like Sandman, right? He succumbed to the darkness of, the dark forces of all the nightmares that could have happened in all of his fears. But it was the only way Jack gained his power. So you knew by doing this, it was the only way your partner or your kids were gonna learn how to be, I wanted to say better hunters, but be better on their own. Smoke on it, you decide this person's fatal karma. Always remember you are someone's dream partner in life. What's this about? Special forces and acute missions. Okay, so this is something to do with, because this card is a robot's head and it's a heart in the middle of it, right? So this is something to do with the tech savvy era. You could be someone that's into computers, or you could be like information technology. So you could be an IT of some sorts. And I feel like you're deciding this person's fate. Like the person, time to back their attitude. Like the person who had this very dismissive attitude towards you. It's like you're deciding, they were very dark. Whoever this person is, it's like, and I don't mean dark like skin complexion, but they had a very dark energy to them. Like you knew they were doing all the things towards you for all the wrong reasons, or they were trying to delay certain aspects of your time to create some sort of illusions to make you fearful of something. Can we specify special forces in the acute missions, please? Because it gives me the energy of somebody was not expecting you to come out of something alive, right? But you did. Okay. It's time to let yourself be reborn and cleansed again. So you have the death and rebirth, and Osiris is out here. You two could also be into Egyptian mythologies. But special forces and acute missions. Like, you're on this. Okay. So that this doesn't sound crazy, right? It's like you're on this planet to do something that should have been done many time lapses ago, but you couldn't complete it. But now in this time lapse, you can complete it. And so it's like, okay, you have to, it's like die for the cause in order to be cleansed of or rid yourself of what has happened in a time lapse where you were not free, right? It's like you're setting yourself free from something or someone, like finally. And this person, it's given me, this person was dangerous or known for manipulating time in some way, shape, or form. But they can't, right? Because it's like where they used to be dangerous before, they're not anymore. Why is this person no longer dangerous? I'm so curious. Why is this person considered no longer dangerous? So I heard wit's end. Somebody's at their wit's end. You have healed my heart tonight. That's why. Okay, so somebody was using the element of time, and they were using your fear of running out of time, whether it be to finish a mission, whether it be to enter into somebody's life, or whether it be to stay in the mental prison of your mind, right? Somebody just wanted you in a constant state of fear. What if I don't make it? What if I'm not going to make it out alive? What if I'm not going to get to this person in time? But every decision that you make, the minute, it's like the second you succumb to the fear of, what if I don't make it? The minute you allow that fear to play out, it's like it worked out better in your favor and everybody involved. It's like this had to be, something is inevitable. Like this inevitably had to be done. Like, yeah, okay. So, this person is no saint, no angel, but avoids devils with a good heart. That's why you like them. Appreciate their authenticity. It's something about the way, there's like an irresistible light to someone, right? It's like their strength is what makes their illumination or their sense of illumination stand out from the rest. Somebody has you believing, again. You're not fearing, right? But you believe. And it's just like, no, you're not going to, you're looking at the people you're supposed to look at from a sense of, you're not just going to take my pain or what you put me through and dismiss it and make it seem like, oh, it was all a part of the job, right? And you decide this person's faith. Like, look at Sandman at the end of the movie. He came back stronger than ever, right? And the same energy that Pitch used to make him succumb to the fear, he was no longer fearful. So now, because he no longer feared, fear itself feared him. So you were put in a position to succumb to the fear. Now fear fears you, right? You create the fear, like, because you understand that you have created your own or co-created your own fears. And now that you're no longer co-creating your own fears, it's like the people who wanted you to live in fear are fearful of you. Okay, so let me just close out this reading. Yeah, so to clarify the very first card that came out, it says you are your only prison, right? Gently open the door and set yourself free. And that clarifies with, in this case, you can remove yourself from the equation. Theseus versus thesis statements. So, and yes, I create my own cards, guys. So, you see how you have, like on the card, even though you can't see it, on the card you have Theseus's father, you have the boat that he rode on, you have the wave, you have the Minotaur. But Theseus, I purposely put it to where Theseus is not there on the card. Theseus is missing, right? So you have completely removed yourself from this confinement, mental confinement of, oh, the worst is going to happen. So now that's completely removed from you. Okay, so now if that's completely removed from you, since I'm using Theseus as an example, you're not in a labyrinth. You're not on the boat, right? Who's fighting the Minotaur? Who has to deal with the waves? If you remove yourself from this equation, this fear-based equation that you created, who has to solve that problem? And the answer is no one. Right? Because just as much as you created this equation, you solved it simply by removing yourself from it. So, all my cards. Meditate on Shiva today. Quality over quantity, third parties, and misinformation, relationship setup, and traps. Okay, your deception card came out. Deception. Seeing something clearly, special forces. This person has a really good heart and will treat you with kindness. And I'm going to take one more. A love confession is coming your way today. Be prepared. And this is on top of make love to me tonight. And God has expanded their lifespan so you can stay in love. So they can stay and love you a little longer. And it's making me think about the song, John Legend, Fate, right? You didn't take a shortcut. Whatever this was, like I feel like there's no such thing as a shortcut in your world. You either do the job efficiently and effectively or you don't. So meditate on Shiva. I would say look up. I feel like you know Shiva, but there's something like there's a detail about Shiva that maybe is gonna highlight to you. And for me, when I see this card, it's like meditate on Shiva today. It's like meditate on the God that resides within you, right? If we are a reflection of God, then what, who are we looking at when we look in the mirror? So, and not saying that from an egoic sense, but a sense of spiritual ascension. Like if you are seeking the light, where are you going to turn to? You're going to turn to the light within, or at least I would hope. So, and quality over quantity, third parties and misinformation. So, this is like a divine intervention. I feel like something is going to be exposed to you that's going to make you understand something about something that was said about someone. Like, oh, this person is this or that. And then you're coming to find out that whoever this person is that you had misinformation about has a really good heart. And they're not like, they're not going to mistreat you. This is another love reading. This person is no saint, no angel. Okay, just because I'm getting this, a few more cards. Bliss forever. A few more cards. Give me one for this person is no saint, no angel, but avoids devils with a good heart. That's why you like them. So there's someone, you appreciate what a person represents. And serving your country with a broken heart takes humility and courage. Thank you. But that came in reverse. So you're serving your country with a healed heart. So this is somebody of a military base, right? Or a military background. With humility and courage, but it's like, thank you. But it's also like you are eliminating the person who is not serving the country with the best of intentions. And that's the true light. It's like somebody's level of authenticity allows you to understand your level of strength or your level of power. And that's healing for you, but it's also crippling for the person who was doing very corrupt things within a certain government system. Okay, so that's your reading. Bye. Okay, hey Padre, let's get started on your reading. Okay, so the very First card says, do everything in your power to protect those eyes, recognition and rewards. And then you have obstacle after obstacle. The only thing you can control is yourself. So with this card, it's like from Greek mythology when Theseus is going up against the Minotaur. But the way I position this card, like the photo of it, it's like the ribbon, the red ribbon that Theseus used to get out of the labyrinth, and that was given to him by a person that he fell in love with, right? And so she got this red yarn to protect him. So everywhere he went, he was like rolling out the red yarn until he came across the Minotaur. So this way, by the time he came out of the labyrinth, he knew exactly where to go, right? And it was because of this woman or his lover, he was able to get out of that labyrinth or that situation, right? After he defeated the Minotaur. So the second card is, I need you to know that you mean so much to me. So this is a decision maker card. So there's somebody that is highly influential and runs the masses. This person wants you to know you mean a lot to them. And what was interesting about this reading is that so many decision makers, like high profile people, came out in this reading that it's like it felt like it was its own group, like its own special group. But I feel like this own special group is looking at you, and they're looking at you with so much admiration. And it's like when I did the reading, because I pre-shuffled it, you were the woman, or you were the lover with the red string, right? So it's like it was you and your red string, and the red string could be like intuition or guidance or the love for something that you do. It was you that were leading all of these men out of their own labyrinths. Like, that's how I saw it. Okay, so the third card says, I am trying to be your one and only. Side note, person is protective. Yeah, you have like a very highly influential person, decision maker of the world, that's very protective of you, very protective of your gifts and abilities, because not just because of what you've done for them, but what you do for humanity. Okay, so the fourth card is, you are destined to build this empire. So stop thinking at a franchise level. Connectivity and expertise is key here. And I feel like whoever you are, like you're somebody who reads, right? You can read for people. You can be a tarot reader. You can read the room. You read situations very well. You see situations very well. And you help people, like on a mass scale. I hate when we fight. Let's make this right. Let's make this right again. Let me see. I'm thinking, sorry, I was checking my phone. I was making sure it didn't stop recording. Let's make this right again. So you also have, again, there's a lot of high profile people out here, but you also have a high profile person that regrets like fighting with you or disagreeing with you in some way, shape, or form, or going against you. Didn't realize just how much you were helping them until now, it seems like. Okay, then the first card on the second row says, I can give you everything you've been missing. You just have to trust me. Let me in and trust me, please, right? And this is coming from the lover. I feel like this is coming from you, like whoever you are. You're just saying, if you just trust me, I can lead you out of this, or I can lead you to this, right? So a certain level of trust is required. The next card, those who can do and those who can't teach others to do it better. Okay. So this person, or these people, these high profile people, they see you as a teacher, and a lot of them see you as their leader, or their lead to something, or the key to something. Okay, so the third card on the second row, the third card on the second row says, well, dot, 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 dot. That was kinky, right? So, and this is under I'm trying to be your one and only. Side note, person is protective. Okay. The next card is they miss the late nights and long, deep talks. And the last card is rally and support no matter the skin color. Okay. Can we clarify well that was kinky? I'll shut the world down for you. I love you more than you'll ever know. Wow. Okay. All right. So okay. I don't know who this person is to you or for you. I know they're a protector, okay? I know this person is protecting you from something, be it the world, be it other people. Whoever this person is very powerful. It's not every day that you hear somebody say, I'll shut the whole world down to find you, right? So somebody is looking for you specifically. Well, that was kinky. I feel like you could do like kinky reads. Or you say things like this person is protective of your I want to say the sexual energy that you put out there to the world, because they know sexuality and they know sexual energy, like there's a form of sacredness to it. So it's like they protect or they're very protective of your sacred aspects to your sexual energy or the sexual energy you put out into the world. Whoa. Okay. So what does this person need to know more than anything? I need you to know that you mean so much to me. So whoever this person is, you have taught this person how to teach people to be better or teach people to be the best at what it is that they are doing, right? Be it behind closed doors, under the covers, or be it in like an office space. It's like you teach this person through something that you do to be the best and most effective, and it allows them to teach others. So each one teach one. That's the energy I'm getting from here. Okay, so I need you to know you mean so much to me. Clarify this card. This love and union inspired the heavens and moves spiritual mountains. Okay, so this is your divine counterpart. This person, sorry guys, that's my bad. This person remembers you from an Egyptian time, because I don't have it on the card. Like I have it on the card, but I don't have my phone on the cards yet because I still have to get a phone stand, guys, and some lighting. You know how that works. Just starting, bear with me. But this person remembers you from an Egyptian timeline. I'm gonna go out of my way and say it's either, I want to say it's the New Kingdom, right? So, so your divine counterpart remembers you from the New Kingdom when you guys were together. And this person is just like, you mean so much to me. Something is perfected here. Like there's something that you have mastered, and there's something very captivating about your eyes to your divine counterpart. There's something you have mastered in regards to time frames and union and coming into union. You mean so much to me. I mean, a type of love that moves the heavens, inspired by the heavens and moves spiritual mountains. So that means when you guys come together, you're going to be unstoppable in all aspects. You have taught this person to be a better lover. You've taught this person to be a better teacher. You've taught this person to just be better at life. And I feel like you're always teaching them something new in each timeline. But it's like every lesson that they needed to learn from you, they've already learned it. And now it's like wanting to build with you. They can come towards you to build with you now. So let's see. What do I need to clarify? Okay, you are destined to build this empire. So stop thinking at a franchise level. Okay. What does the concept "let there be light" mean to you? Okay, so somebody has a military background. And there may have been a blockage in the past. Somebody may have tried to block you or your person using some form of military, or maybe that was the distance between you two because somebody is military based, so they can't stay in one place for more than a certain period of time. So what does the concept of "let there be light" mean to you? So manifestations. So, you're manifesting this world where you can come into union with your person and you can build everything that was either blocked in the past or torn down or ripped from you. Something was taken from you because you had such gifts and abilities. Like maybe the love of your life was taken from you or thrown at a distance, right, from you because you had gifts and abilities. But it's your gifts and your abilities that brought this, not only taught this person, but is bringing this person back to you. I feel like all my readings were love-based today. Sometimes you gotta throw caution to the wind and just face your fears. What are you fearing? Like, it's kind of like, what are you fearing or what are they fearing? Are you fearing that conversation? Are you fearing that moment of that deep letting it all go, like saying exactly how you feel, what you feel, right? And I keep zooming in on kinky, but saying exactly what you feel and doing exactly what you feel, like not overthinking it, like no longer overthinking this approach of, okay, how do I tell this person, or how do I approach this person and let them know I want to come into union with them? It's like everything's removed from you. There's like the gates, the blockages, the bricks, everything's being completely removed from you and this person. So now you're just face to face. Why did this come out? You can't possibly tell me you love this person. Somebody could be into polygamy, like, because there are a lot of options out here. I'm not gonna deny that, but there's an option out here that's into having multiple wives and multiple partnerships, and it's kind of like, you can't possibly tell me that you like this person that's into polygamy is saying towards you. You can't possibly tell me that you love this person, you want to build with this person, right? In this circumstance, it's your heart that can overpower harsh logic. So maybe you see like there's so much more to gain with the person that you want to be with, even though from the outside it doesn't look like this person that's looking on the outside in feels like the person that you're destined to be with can't offer you as much as they can. But I feel like that's their problem. I feel like they think of things like, whoever this person is, that's one of your options. They think of things and people as possessions. Like, you can't possibly tell me that you like this person over me. Like, they have this, they have the money, they have the finances, they have more power than this person, but you're dealing with, I'm not seeing a small player on this, like, read. I'm seeing highly influential people, right? Like MNs, BNs, TNs, millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. Like, I'm seeing high profile people. And it's just, there's something about you that's going to be drawn to your divine counterpart. And this person is well established already. Maybe not as well established as this person, looking from the outside in, is. But they are pretty established, right? And they want to build with you. Let me see. So this card that came out in this circumstance is your heart that can overpower harsh logic. What does this mean for this person? What does it mean for this person? Always be compassionate to the ones with spiritual blood on their hands. No amount of soap can wipe off. Yeah. You're looking at everyone from a standpoint of love, right? And when you get to that point, when you see everyone from a standpoint of love, you know that a part of that person is a reflection of you. So you're not looking at them harshly, because you know that's a part of you that either needs to be addressed or either needs to be shown to you to understand just how much you've grown or you've transformed as a person. Like that, it's something like infinite possibilities, right? And so there are many facets to you. And so in learning to be compassionate with yourself, you can look at other people and you can see the good rather than what they want you to see. Let's say if somebody's being like mean towards you, or somebody's coming off like they don't like you, or you can see the aspects of that person and see, okay, and say to yourself, okay, those are shadow aspects of myself that I have to work on. And the minute you work on those shadow aspects, you probably won't see that person for weeks, months, or ever again, right? It's something like that. It's like your heart has the power. You have the power in your heart to overpower anybody that wants you to look at them from a face value standpoint. But you're somebody that goes beneath the surface. Like, you always dig deeper than surface level. This is why you have the kind of options that you do. Okay, so let's close out this reading. And you've helped, like, something needs to be asked bluntly without cruelty. Okay, so a guidance card came out. I feel like you have helped people escape the labyrinths of their own minds, right? And let's say you're coming from an Egyptian time, you have helped people to build and dismantle the pyramids of their own minds. And this is like really powerful. I don't pick up energy like this often, but when I do, it's nice. So what needs to be asked bluntly without cruelty? Whoa. Okay, so the card flipped, but okay, got it. Jump out of that airplane, drive the fastest cars home, and be home for dinner before 7. So I guess what has to be asked is, you have to ask your person, like, who are you really? Like, and don't tell me you're just, this is giving me like, I forgot the name of that movie, but the woman, she was dating Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie, and on
the surface, he was just somebody who worked 9 to 5, but behind this, he was living a double life because he was because he was a secret intelligence spy. So there's something, or maybe it's something of like that nature. It's just like she had to, it was only when she got, kidnapped and stuff like that, or she was in actual danger, that she realized who her husband was. So something has to be asked before it gets to that point. It's just like, well, who are you? What do you do? Right? And let's say this person tells you that they work in an office from 9 to 5. It's like what kind of office? Like, what is your line of work? Right? And I guess you need to know this because this is the way you tell who your person is. Like, I feel like whoever you are, your person is not an average Joe, for lack of a better term. Like there's definitely levels of danger, there's levels of risk, there's levels of protectiveness this person takes, right? Every single day of their life because that's their line of work. You know this, and I feel like by asking this question, but not in a rude way, you're not going to be blindsided, right? Like in the movie, she had to be surrounded by all those people, all that opposition that Arnold Schwarzenegger that had around him, like all those other spies to find out that he was a secret agent, like a secret spy. But before it gets there, I feel like you should ask, like, what's your line of work? And I feel like you're gonna know because this person's gonna appear boring, right? 9 to 5. Oh yeah, I just work in an office, push papers all day, but that's not the case here. That's not what I'm seeing. Okay, so 2 more cards. um, so, sorry for laughing, but that movie makes me laugh. So the card that came out was my heart chakra has been closed for a while. I wasn't expecting this. Give me a moment. Yeah, somebody is completely in love with you. Where they were closed off to this idea of love and being with a person and finding their soulmate, their divine counterpart, they're not anymore. Like this person, this person or these people, they know it's you, or somebody feels like it's you. You have so many options that want to be your one and only. One more card. Okay. This B2B is more profitable as a B2C. Adjust quickly. So instead of doing business to business, do business to consumer because it feels more personal, more individualized. And I think that's how you build your empire. Like, I don't see, like, let's say you do readings, right? I don't see you doing readings, like, you'll do readings for the general population, but I see you also doing readings for like high level clients, and these high level clients know that secrecy is key, so they're gonna keep you a secret. But oh my gosh, those checks are gonna be beautiful. Okay, so that's your reading. Bye.